Groundhogs are one of the few animals that truly hibernate. So the parents, you parents were like this. They can lower their blood pressure, lower their heart rate, and get into a completely relaxed state. Don't you wish you had that ability like a groundhog does? And lastly, do groundhogs have sharp teeth and powerful jaws? Kids, what do you think, kids? And here's why, because all day long they have to bite woody plants and dig for roots and vegetables. So as a result, they have very sharp teeth and powerful, efficient, masticating jaw muscles. Are you hearing me, Mr. Mayor? So as all of you who love the zoo know, education is our top mission, and I think you've learned a lot already here. One thing we know is we all share something in common with Chuck. We all live in a borough. Thank you. Thank you for that groan. I live for that groan. All right. And no, we are truly delighted to have the mayor here. This is a big deal for the biggest little zoo in America to have the mayor here. We really appreciate it. I remember, and so does Ken and Bill Frew, when we were kids, just like the kids here, we came to the zoo, and it gave us so much joy, so much education, and we're so delighted, I think, now as adults to give back. So now it's my privilege to introduce the man who represents all of our boroughs, including Chuck's, our mayor, Bill de Blasio.
I gotta say, tough act to follow, Ed Burke. But he'll be in Vegas doing his show later on tonight, let me tell you. Thank you, Ed, for everything you do for Staten Island, for what you do for this great event. To Staten Island Zoo for host Assemblyman Cusick, Councilmember Matteo, former Councilmember Dominic Recchia. We have an all-star team here because this is one of the great events every year on Staten Island. And we are all very interested in what we're going to learn from Chuck. Now, I have to tell you, it is my pleasure to be here because this zoo is renowned. This is one of the gems of Staten Island. In fact, I'm going to quote here, the Wall Street Journal recently named the Staten Island Zoo the best small zoo in New York City. Let's give them a round of applause for all they do. The first zoo in the country specifically devoted to education. When it was formed and it was founded, it was specifically to educate, particularly our children. Now, the zoo also boasts an extraordinary snake collection. I want to tell you, I have nothing against snakes, but I'm glad they don't know much about meteorology. I think Chuck, despite Chuck's personality, I'd rather have Chuck than a snake telling me about the weather. Chuck and my predecessor didn't always get along, let's be honest about that. But I'm hoping we can start a new day, a new relationship here. I'm reaching out a hand to Chuck, and I hope he will consider shaking it rather than doing other things. Now, we're going to know from consulting with Chuck whether we have 6 more weeks of winter or not. I think we are all hoping that Chuck doesn't see his shadow today. We all know where we are, and I have to tell you, we went through the polar vortex. We didn't really like the polar vortex that much. It was a great novelty. We're happy to see it go. I think we're ready for the tropical convergence now. So, with Chuck's help, we'll get there. Now, he has an 80% accuracy rate, as you heard. So, this is something that we're going to be watching very, very carefully. But enjoy this extraordinary moment. Enjoy this beautiful tradition, something that makes Staten Island great. And now, brace yourselves. Without further ado, let's see what New York's fuzziest meteorologist has in store for us for the next 6 weeks. And now, with trepidation, I step forward. Luckily, there's gloves and then there's gloves. Now these are gloves. Staten Island Zoo official gloves here. Try getting through these, Chuck.
Now, John Franzreb will sound the official Groundhog Day horn, signaling... Watch this now. Ladies and gentlemen, young Nick Romagnola is going to present the scroll to the mayor once Chuck makes his prediction.
Now he's got to come back. This is perfect. Now he's got to come back. Smiling. Smiling. It's fine. He just raises and then...
Chuck, what's the word? Waiting for Chuck to say something. We're all getting along. All good, Chuck. Hold them. Chuck. What about this winter thing, Chuck? We can work something out, family. Hold them. Pick them up. I heard something.
The mayor comes to Mike and announce.
Mr. Mayor, open up Mike and announce. And Nick will present him with the scroll.
I've been brushing up on my Groundhog dialect, but I didn't fully understand what Chuck said, so let's see what the scroll tells us. Everybody ready? Oh, I'm sorry to say we have troubling news here. Chuck likes the polar vortex. Chuck says more winter. Yeah. Oh, wait, there's more. We're good. Chuck has spoken, everyone. It's a cold, hard reality, but live by the groundhog, die by the groundhog. That's right. He's been wrong 20% of the time. Maybe this will be one of them. All right. There it is. The truth. Thank you, Chuck. Thank you for your honesty, Chuck.
For a moment, I thought
Chuck tells it like it is.
For a moment, I thought Chuck was going to predict an early fall. Ladies and gentlemen, we've just been joined by City Councilwoman Debbie Rose. Let's all hear it for Debbie Rose. That's it. So that's a wrap on another great Groundhog Day. Wait. What?
You know, every good groundhog has an auditor. So what we have this year is the PS29 weather checkers are going to keep track of Chuck's, keep track of the warm days and the cold days. And on the first day of spring, we'll be at PS29, and we'll see if Chuck was right or wrong. And this year, we hope he was wrong. We'll see how it happens. Thank you, everyone, for coming to Groundhog Day. God bless you all. Enjoy the Super Bowl.